see other YouTubers create product videos that are just so good. I don't even know how they do it, and I didn't realize how hard it was. But I figured I would just use all the equipment that I have and just do the best that I can. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how I accomplished that little product video. So to start off, I'm gonna show you some of the things that I used in order to get some of those shots. First, I have my product, which happens to be a drill. I have the macro lens made by Ulanzi. It comes with their wide angle lens, and you can just detach the wide angle lens and use the macro to get some of those really close-up shots. A camera dolly that I've used so much that you can almost see the wear and tear on the wheels, or you could use a slider. One thing that I did was I shot at night so I would have controlled lighting, and in order to get my backdrop to have a different color, I just picked up a skin that's red and blue, and then also a Neewer light. These are pretty cheap and I use it all the time. It's not my key light, but it's great for a fill light or a backlight, and with the skins it just makes for a perfect backdrop. So the first shot that I want to talk about is this macro lens shot. So right off the bat I can tell that the lens is just a bit underneath the drill bit, and I wanted to get a nice shot, kind of like a starship as it was floating by the drill. So that's when I got a book out, and I keep on adding books until the center of the lens is centered with the drill bit. These are when frozen books come in handy. Once I was at that perfect range, I went ahead and switched it to manual focus, and I brought the focus window as close to the camera as possible. If you don't know how to do this, then you're gonna have to check out the manual focus video. I'll leave it in the description. I also shot all of this on 120 frames per second so that I could slow it down in post. I actually started in the back of the drill, so I knew what was gonna be in focus, and then I pulled away, and then in post I just reversed the clip to make it look like I was going forward, because I knew where my focus was gonna land when it got to the end of that clip. Now we're gonna talk about that opening shot where I actually track across the drill as it's spinning. So the first thing that I do is I put my camera right in front of the drill, I find out exactly where I want the focus to be, then I switch it over to manual focus, and then I start kind of over here, press record. Now, if you don't have a slider, there's nothing to worry about. All you need to do is get a tall cup, a piece of paper, and then put the cup on the paper, put the ZV-1 on the cup. Get your drill to where it's just at the lens level, like we said in the first place. Press record, and then just slide right by. It doesn't work as good, but it still works. All right, so even though this shot seems a little bit easy, there's a little bit of thought that goes into it. So the first thing that I did, just like the original shot, was I got the camera as close to the drill bit as possible. I switched it over to manual focus, and then I used my manual focus ring to get it all the way down so the focus window was as close to the lens as possible. So after that was complete, I just put the camera on the dolly, I pushed it all the way to the back of the books, I turned on the drill, and then I just pushed forward. Just be extremely careful that you don't let the drill bit hit the lens. Let's go get the next shot. And this is how I got that one shot where it looks like the camera is in the end of the drill bit as it heads towards the wood. I actually made a similar video on how I got the camera to look like it was in little holes, like an electric outlet hole or in a keyhole. I'll leave that video in the description, but this is how I did it. All I did was I put the piece of wood on the ground, and then I held the ZV-1 and went down as smoothly as possible so that the center of the wood was constantly in the center of the frame of the ZV-1. And then in post-production, I just added keyframes and rotation. And then after it was done, I did the same thing with keyframes and rotation, and I used an arbor hole saw to make it look like there was actually a hole in the wood, and then I just pulled out. Then for the final shot, I let the ZV-1 do the hard work on the autofocus, then I switched it into manual focused, I pressed record, and then I just slammed it down. So that's it. That's how I accomplished a product video. Like I said, it wasn't the best in the world, but it was still a lot of fun to do. And I think that you could make a lot of product videos only using the Sony ZV-1. Another note is that the music that you use is very important. In my case, I liked the cinematic and dramatic type of feel for the drill. I don't know, it just felt like it flowed for me, but maybe I could have used a different type of music. I'm Joe with Film Alliance, and until the next video, Peace.